Star Wars Promise Neverland.
Story time. We called the cops.
We almost died.
And there was an intruder in the house. So we were looking at memes and we were laughing our heads off. And we were laughing, and then as soon as we got quiet, all of a sudden we hear
very violent noises.
It was like really violently, really loud. We're home alone. There's no one here. No one knows I'm home alone. I have no other friends that would come all the way here. And so then I went to go get pepper spray because I have that in my room, and I tried looking for other weapons. We got really quiet. We were like trying to hear whatever. And Yasmin thinks she heard something again, but she doesn't know if it was like her stepping down the stairs or what. So we go downstairs.
Yasmin almost got the iron stand. Or the iron.
Yeah,
I did get the
Yasmin was holding the iron.
She was holding a chair.
And I was holding a table while holding pepper
table.
spray. And
I was holding trash because I didn't think it was serious. I was like, whatever.
I was like, put the trash down,
I
get
need to
some
throw this away. I was
weapons.
going to throw this trash
I got
away.
mad because I was holding the trash. She's like, why do you have trash in your hand? I was like, I'm
Like, I
going
need to throw this trash away. So I'm just holding trash.
We were upstairs, like right up here, and there's a back staircase here. So we came from the staircase all around the house. And we come downstairs and we're here in the living room, whatever. And then we hear the knocking again. And we're just like, okay. And it sounded louder because we were downstairs and closer. And
It
we're
was
like,
very loud.
yeah.
And you were on the phone with your mom at that time.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my mom. While we were on the phone, she's saying that all of a sudden we hear the same noise and it sounded more violent. And then I'm just like, okay, it sounds like it's coming from here. The laundry room. And I had the doors all closed because I hate having the doors open when there's no one in the house. So I was like, did I make a mistake? I was like, I'm not going there. So we're just like standing across, just staring at the door, and it's going like, and so at that point, I got knives and I gave them to Basma and Yasmin. And like cowards, they're like, oh, we're not killing anyone. They put them away.
No, I put them away because I didn't think it was serious. I was like, this is nothing's gonna happen. It's just like just stupid. So I just put it back.
Oh my god! You got it from. Oh my god!
I was like,
Oh my
whatever.
god. Like 2 minutes after that, we hear ring, 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 bang on our phone. I'm just like, is this my brother? Like, honestly, 90% of the, like, I was thinking, it's my brother pulling a prank. I don't know how. Because, like, okay, the knocking could have been, like, some random or what. And it could have been outside. It could have been inside the house. Couldn't tell. But then the music was coming from inside the house. I was like, this isn't... When we heard the first knocking, I called my brother and he didn't answer. Then I called my sister-in-law and then he answered from her phone. He's like, hello, and he sounded like he was asleep. And I was like, sounds fake, but okay. When we heard the knocking the second time, I was like, nope. We ran upstairs and we were just like, what are we doing? And then Yasmin's like, can we go somewhere with a lock? And so we locked ourselves in my room. So then at that point, we were like, I was asking my mom, I was like, should we call the police? Should we do it or not? And so then eventually I kept telling Basma, I was like, call the police, call the police.
I just had it. I was like, should I call? Like, this isn't that serious. It could be a prank. Like, I was like, whatever.
I thought
Then he was like, call the police. You haven't called him yet? Why haven't you called him yet? I was like, okay, I'll
I
call.
thought it was a prank at first, but then when I saw his reaction, I was like, I don't think this is a prank.
Yeah, and at this time, Heba and Yasmin were freaking out a lot.
was
I
like,
was like,
I don't think
what's
it's a
going on?
prank.
What's it? I was like, I don't know what to do.
Because if it was a prank, then I feel like Heba would have been like, oh, you know, this is a prank. And I was like, I don't know her family. So, I mean, it couldn't be a prank if she doesn't think it is.
Like, honestly, I was like, it is probably a prank, but like, I was not taking any chance because like the people who sometimes think it's a prank, they end up dead. So I was like, not today, bro.
So I called the police and they asked for a location, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, we're sending like police on the way. And I was like, okay. And they're just asking like how the situation was, who came, blah, blah, blah. And then Yasmin was like, tell him to hurry. And I was still like kind of chill. And Yasmin got the phone from me and she was like, oh yeah, I heard my son.
No, I really did. I thought I heard someone talking. And then I really did. I was like, I think I heard somebody talking downstairs. And the man was like, okay, well, somebody on their way. I mean, the police are on their way. And I was like, okay, well, also her mom's friend is on the way too. And he was like, how dare you call somebody when the police are coming? What does her car look like? Give me all her information. And I was like freaked out, so I gave the phone to Heba.
And then Heba gave her phone to me.
I'm glad my mom was on the phone though, so she heard the knocking. She's like,
Yeah, she heard
like,
it.
she
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
it.
yeah,
She's
I'm
like,
glad,
there's
I'm
someone
glad,
knocking.
I'm
Like,
glad,
when she started freaking out, I was like, and eventually like the police came and they were like, I was on the phone with the FBI, with 911.
911. What's your emergency?
And they're like, yeah, the police just came on the scene. They're checking the perimeter, blah, blah, blah. And
4 police cars came.
yeah.
4.
The cop was like, okay, yeah, the police want you to meet them in the front, so like go there. And then he just hung up. I was like,
Yeah, he hung up out of nowhere. That was weird. That was really
like,
random.
hello?
I was confused
okay,
too.
thanks, bro. And we open the door, and I'm holding my pepper spray still, and the cop, he sees me, he's like, what do you say? He's like, good thinking, or like, I don't even know what he
You're
said.
prepared. I think
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you're prepared, whatever. It was 4 cops. They come inside the house and they're like asking questions, and we told them the music was playing. So then they were like, okay, like we'll do a quick like look around, and they're like looking through, blah blah blah. And we told them we heard it from the laundry room, and that leads to the small garage, and there's also a window in the laundry room. So they looked. They're like, yeah, there's no signs of forced entry. Like all the doors are locked. We looked outside. It's like muddy and raining. There's no foot tracks or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was
really
like.
cold.
He's like, are there any speakers inside of the house? I was like, no, like, there's speakers right here, but I was standing in my brother's room, which like music couldn't have been playing because we didn't hear it from that side. Are you sure about that? And I was like, yeah. And so then he didn't say anything else. Then another officer was like, do you have a ghost problem? And I was like, it's funny you say that because like the past few days, me and my sister-in-law like have been like talking about how we felt kind of weird, and then he's like, oh yeah, you know, I blessed the house, blah blah blah. And at this point we were all zoning out. Like,
He was talking for so long. I zoned
I was
out.
like just staring at his eyes.
I was like, okay, bro, I don't need to think about ghosts now. Like, I don't know what's
Ghosts
scary,
are-
having someone in the
ghosts are-
house
My
or
head,
like
I was like, he
ghosts.
really thinks it's an intruder, and he's trying to tell us this. Like,
Right? Oh, and the police officer, like, he looked at Basma. He turned at her randomly, and he's like, how old are you?
I was so sad. I was so offended.
And then Basma's like 21, and
21.
then he looks at her, he's like, do you have a boyfriend? And then Basma's
any
like,
ex-boyfriends?
yeah, and
Sure,
then he
so
looked at me and
anyways.
Yasmin, he's like, any of y'all have any boyfriends or ex-boyfriends? And
trying to get to you.
we like started laughing, and
I was laughing. I don't know, right when you asked the age, I was laughing. I was like, I'm 21.
and then I wanted to be like, bro, we've been singing our whole lives. They're like, anyone you can think of that would have pulled this prank? And I was like, my brother, but he's in Houston, so I don't know how he could have done it. And he's like, how old's your brother? I was like 28. And then he just laughed. Livy laughed.
He said, okay.
Yeah, he
it's
was like,
okay.
okay. And that's when they checked the laundry room, and they couldn't find anything. What else happened? They're like, okay, we'll be around the area. We'll still look around, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you have any problems or more noises, call us. Am I missing anything? I don't know. It's kind of a blur.
It was, I remember clearly, I think. Just because I was like, okay, this might be my last moments. This might be my last moments.
I was calm.
Oh yeah, when we went upstairs, when we ran upstairs after hearing Banana Phone, and we locked ourselves in the room, Basma and Yasmin were like, we should have bought the knives. I was like, idiot. I was so mad. I was literally so mad at this point. I was like,
Like, I saw him with the pepper spray, and I was like, wait,
we
you
should
got
have
the
the
knives. You left them
you
downstairs.
didn't forget them. You
I
left
left
them.
them. Open the
You
drawer.
put them back
put
in the
them
drawer.
back in the
You
drawer. So I didn't think it was serious. I was like, oh, it's just some knife.
And
like,
I was
what
on the
am I gonna
phone
do
with my
this?
mom, and the music was still playing, and I was like, and so then I muted it, and I was like, "Have you guys get out right now?
You're screaming, get out of my house! And I was like, no, stop talking!
Get out of my life!"
Get out of my life!
They left, and oh yeah, Mahin's mom, Vani's auntie, she was on the scene. She like my mom. So I first called my brother, then I called my mom, and then my mom called Vani's auntie, and she was like getting ready to come here. Then she was here. She said she doesn't see anything because like there's no lights on, and she's in the driveway. And so then the police came, and they're like, oh, you know, like stay out, whatever. So she went to like the other side and parked somewhere across the house. Eventually she came in, and then we did another sweep of the house. We looked under the beds, we looked in all the closets, bathrooms, blah blah blah. We go into the laundry room, and I go closer to the window because I was like, and then I see, what do I see? I see freaking an Alexa Echo plugged in behind the dryer.
The police missed.
Yeah, I'm like, did y'all really check? And is that why the police officer was like, are you sure about that? But then why wouldn't he tell us? So,
You know, I would say the police maybe doesn't know how it looks like, but there was also a younger police with him who he was like kind
Yeah,
of like
look at
our age, like in the 20s. So he would have recognized it. I don't know.
I don't think they were looking that nice. I think they're looking for a person.
Yeah, so this freaking Alexa Bluetooth. I unplugged that shit real quick, and then I was still on the phone with my mom, and I was like, "Look what we found." And then they got my brother on the phone, and they're like, "Yeah, Auntie left," because we're like, "Okay, we'll feel better now after seeing that." Because even then, after the police left, we're like, "We don't feel safe, bro." So I'm glad we found the speaker. It's still annoying, but at least we got a story out of it, I guess.
The police were nice.
Yeah, the police were really nice.
So nice.
Like, I wonder if they think we were pranking them, or if like
We wouldn't
I
take it
don't
that
think
far.
so, because we're all old enough. Like, we're not in high school. I don't know.
they don't even know how old we are.
On the phone, the
Look at
guy
how
was
fast,
like,
yeah.
on the phone, the guy was like, when are your parents coming home? And I was like, we're all 21 here. I was like, I just said at 8. I was like, we're all 21. He was like, oh, okay. And I think he was like, why are they calling us? I don't know what he was
I'm
trying to get
22.
at. I know. I said,
My sister-in-law called because my brother was scared to talk to me, and according to Miriam, she was like, he feels really bad. He feels really bad. I'm just like, and she's
being a
like,
YouTuber is so easy.
I had a feeling, but like, I'm not taking that 10% chance of death. We're just gonna try enjoying the rest of our night.
You read the Eiffel Kursi.
Bismillah.
I wanted to check out the first time they knocked. I said, let's go check it out.
Like, I wanted y'all to check it out, but I was like, it's my house. I can't have y'all get killed. So then that's what I was like, no, we're not going nowhere.
That's funny.
I was like, I'm not opening that damn door. Like, what the?
Oh my god. I did this.
Oh my god!
Okay, we're gonna end that story time here.